And he's really into weapons. Like that's also been just part of the problem his whole life. Just always been into weapons. And like, you know, and so he tells me, he's like, yeah, so like I asked him at the front if I could open carry. And I'm like, and I'm like, oh, you know? And so basically like, I'm like, you know, if you want to just hang out with me, you should come down a different day. Like I have to, and I'm also like seeing security. I'm like, they're not leaving. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to walk out with you to the car. As we walk, security comes out, gets to the car, reaches in his glove compartment. Look at my pistol.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Youth Group Chronicles. We are back in the studio with
we're back.
John Rush and special guest Buddy Jenkins. Thank you guys for being here, man.
Thank you for having us.
We already had John on with Taylor. That was a lot of fun.
Yep, we spun the block on the devil. In the name of Jesus.
We have him back for round 2. And Buddy is here with us.
Yeah.
This is going to be a lot of fun. Chat, thank you for being here. Shawrax and Buddy are a great combo. Have we ever recorded with you and Shaw?
No, I don't think me.
We got to do that, bro.
Me and Shaw go way back. We go all the way back from like almost elementary school, middle school.
We got to get you two on the show. What's fun is we have like so many friends and we just intermix everybody on the pod. So it's like all the combinations we can come up with are super fun.
I love that.
But John, like I asked on Taylor's episode, what kind of kid were you in youth group? This is my favorite thing that I have to open up with guests. Back in youth group, did you go to youth group? Were you a youth group kid?
So we never, like growing up, we were never part of a church. We were revived, like really, we were revived. On the last episode, I told one of my only like actual memories of being a part of a church for a bit. Every other thing was we just revival hopped. And my memory of going to church would be my mom getting up in the middle of the sermon being like, no. Like that's just like my like every movie in the theater and every church service I remember going to as a kid, get up in the middle of it. No, my mom made us walk out of Nacho Libre, dog. Like my mom was like, no.
Nacho Libre is a Christian film.
Yeah, she's like,
is it really? I remember all the homeschool kids were watching it.
Really is. I mean, it's like a clean.
It really is.
Clean,
I mean, listen, the whole it's based off of an actual person who really went into being a luchador so he could raise money for his church.
Yeah,
so that's a real thing.
And that was my mom's energy. So when I started going to church when I was 16, I really was only in church junior and senior year.
Okay.
But I was like raised Christian. I think a great story that epitomizes this is a great segue for one of the stories I brought was that like I was actively like, if you watch the movie like Superbad, I feel like it really captures like at least my group of friends era of like I graduated in 2010. I was born in 92. So I'm like a young millennial. Like I'm right on the cusp of being millennial. And all we were trying to do is like hook up with girls. Like the art of it, trying to go to it. But like it failed. You know what I mean? Like it was just always like no game, but like that was the game, you know? And so the whole way I got to youth group was because these girls we were trying to hook up with like went to this
dude, that's
this
so
church.
Normal. They're chasing the girls.
That was mine.
And then no lie, go on youth camp, and I'm just there hanging out with this girl the whole time. And what's so funny is I had a really good youth group, but at the time, like they did everything wrong that first camp. They just let me walk around with like this girl. You know what I mean? It's like youth group 101, right? It's like, new guy with that girl, and she had a rep too, so like everyone should know. You know what I'm saying? Like, but no one stopped. No guy like before the no guy tried to like talk to me. I was just like. And then it was the last night of camp. It was a fall retreat. I remember like it was day. They hit the dinner bell. Ring, ring, ring. Everyone goes. She looks at me and goes, "Hey, everyone's going to be in the cafeteria. Would you like to go back to my cabin and have sex with me?"
Well, and at this point, it's like you worked all this time to make it happen. Did you freeze?
My whole life, every movie, every plot, like the whole like this was it.
This is the moment.
And it's like a dog trying to catch a car. Like they don't know what they're going to do when they catch the car.
And I think it was a combination of being nervous, the Holy Spirit actually looking out for me. But a big one is just like my mom raised me so Christian that like I was just like somewhere in the pit of my stomach I was like I actually and I was like I don't even know if I had even the wherewithal to try to play it off cool like that. I was like, no, I'm good. You know, like McLovin. But then it was that night that I gave my life to Christ.
Really?
But I wasn't on that wavelength. And literally the prayer, like this is, because this is how many like revival type moments I had been to. Acquire the Fire, from Benny Hinn to like Gungor conferences and like all this stuff. I'd been around so much of the emotionalism of it. And essentially like my family was all like Christians, but our family was a mess. So I was just kind of like I wrote in a MySpace blog in 10th grade, I was like, I know that God is real, but based off of what I've seen, I don't want anything to do with him. So anyway, everything about that church had went over my head. That night, they did an altar call. I didn't respond. I sat in the back and I was like, this is so fake. And I go, man, unless God, you speak to me directly, like I'm not, like I've seen this all before, I'm not going. No lie, hand to God, my youth pastor, shout out Megan Valentine, who led me to Christ. She gets up there and she goes, I'm going to do a second altar call. I really feel like there's someone in this room who feels like they've seen this all before and they just really need to hear that God wants to speak to them directly.
Dang.
So so I was a prude virgin raised, non-church, conservative Christian.
Yeah.
But then I really started getting involved. That was junior year. That was like the fall going into junior year.
So at the end of the day, like a good youth group kid like when you started going, it was like pretty decent kid, right?
Yeah. Like my friends and I, like we knew all like, so I moved from rural Minnesota to Kissimmee, Florida, which Kissimmee is like real Orlando. Like that's where like actual people live. And it's a kind of intense spot, like I learned a lot about the world and culture and everything like that. Me and my friends, we always knew the people that were dealing. We were always around. We were on the cusp.
You were adjacent.
We were adjacent to all the activity.
Yeah.
But we were also not trying to like be in it. Like my friend, I should probably be careful with names with this one. One of my best friends, like his brother grew and sold, right? Weed. And so we were always like, yeah, we know, we know. Even another one of our good friends, like this like Polish, we like legit knew like Polish gangster family, like in
Orlando,
bro. Or anyone who's from Kissimmee, anyone who's actually from Kissimmee, Florida, like
they know
like actual Orlando, they know.
That's
and
wild.
so yeah. But like but at the end of the day, we were posers. We were all like Christian raised kids who didn't care about God, but also weren't trying to get in trouble either.
Yeah. When I asked that question, I'm looking for like, were you a menace? Because you were a youth pastor. You've served time in youth ministry. And it's like, there are the menaces, and it doesn't sound like you were, which is good.
No, I was like most white kids at most youth groups, a wannabe. You know what I mean? Like we're just trying to, feel like we were tough, but like we were really just like, we just weren't trying to get in trouble by our moms.
And then also, I think we touched it with the episode with Taylor. You've been in youth ministry for a while. What's that like?
Yeah, so I went from I was very fortunate to like the church I got saved at. The youth pastors at the time it was being co-youth pastored by a brother and sister duo who were, and their spouses, named Megan and Garrett. And they had originally come from a big church in Rockford, Illinois, which a lot of people in like the youth group mafia might know the name, like Jeannie Mayo, Rockford Assembly. Like that's where that was one of the first big youth groups in America in the 90s. It's called Cross Current, had like 1,000 kids, like Christine Kane from Hillsong, or now I guess A21 fame, like whatever, talks about like she would go there to get inspired. Well, they went back up there to work, and that was right as I was graduating, and they were like, you have the call of God on your life to do ministry. So I went up there and I interned for them, and then I was there 10 years and as an intern, and then I became the youth pastor there.
Yeah, so it's youth pastor background.
Then 5 years in Charlotte, North Carolina at Elevation Church, and now we're in Franklin.
All right. And that's where I just did the episode with Taylor. You guys are buds. Well, guys, we'll get to some stories here, but now you know where his stories come from, which is sick. So this is a story from Ryan. Ryan said, during a youth event, I was playing cajon for worship, but this was after a full day of playing water games in the heat with all the students.
Oh my God.
What I didn't realize is that all the activity had weakened the stitching in the crotch of my bathing suit.
Oh, bro.
So that evening, as I sat down on the cajon in front of about 400 students, the seam gave out, and my nutsack was fully exposed to the entire room. I've never been invited back.
No,
I feel like there's like categories with every story that I've heard on this podcast. And if it was like, what is that? The pie charts, a large slice of the pie chart would be something with ripping pants and nuts falling out every single time. Like the amount of nut stories on this podcast is honestly insane.
It's insane.
No, it's like, yeah, there's like a deeper, like, what's the deeper lesson? Like if you, like there's something in there.
There is something.
There's a correlation.
There's some type of correlation.
You can't be in youth ministry if you first can't assess the integrity of your crotch.
Yes.
You know, like this needs to be added to onboarding.
And what kind of swim shorts are those? Like the seams were starting to, like, those gotta be 500 million year old swim shorts.
It also goes back to our conversation from the last episode about finance. And some cheap, those are Walmart swims.
No, that's Salvo. He went to Salvo.
It's all connected. You know what I'm saying?
I got $12 left. I don't get paid till next week.
Thrifted swimwear.
Yes.
That's crazy. I don't think that's the category. Like thrifted swimwear and underwear.
It's gotta be.
I can't. Do
it's
that.
gotta be.
I can't do that.
I would do thrifted swimwear over thrifted underwear.
For sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Thrifted underwear is kind of crazy.
You
got to be like really down on your luck.
Demon Monkey 2018 says, why aren't they wearing underwear? Let me explain something about youth ministry and summer camp. Okay. The drummer
Demon Monkey is crazy.
Is also a youth leader and also had to probably be the camp games ref.
Yeah.
And his group that night was probably also over doing the dishes that night in the summer camp cafeteria. And then had to make it from cleaning the dishes through the overlap to go to band rehearsal.
Literally.
And band rehearsal ran
down there. They're still
all
eating.
the way. They're still eating. He had
Yeah.
to leave his kids. The dishes didn't really get cleaned, so he's in trouble for that too. And then he had band practice went long all the way up to when doors opened.
Yes.
So bro didn't have time, okay? That's why he wasn't wearing underwear. Demon Monkey 2018.
Also, who wears underwear with swim shorts? That's not a common thing, right? They have.
I feel like there are a good amount of people that do.
Let me put you on game. When I'm around students, I do.
Yeah,
a couple.
Or if I'm doing baptism, I'm doing.
Buddy, no, buddy,
I'm in there. If
I understand.
I got underwear on. I don't care. I'm making sure.
No, you think the word is contingency plan.
Yes,
that's what you guys need to know. Contingency plan.
Because also when you're around students, they pants you.
That's
like high school boys will pants you.
That's real.
And so I'm just like, I'm always ready. You're not. Yeah. I ain't gonna be. I ain't gonna be on this podcast.
He's gonna go his whole career without ever being on this
podcast. No.
This is from Kyle. Kyle said, our youth group was doing a Rent a Teen fundraiser.
Rent a Teen is already crazy.
Where church members could donate money for students to do yard work. One Saturday, we drove nearly 2 hours to help a professor from a nearby Christian university with landscaping. After 8 brutal hours of shoveling mulch in the heat, he invited us inside, paid us, and then handed everyone what he said was new sparkling waters that he had been really into. He said, take one for now and take one for the road. But because we were working so hard, the students cracked them open and chugged them right there. It wasn't until the drive home that one of them read the can. Turns out the professor had no idea what he was handing us, and we had just chugged multiple hard seltzers.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to look on the bright side, right? At least there you got to drink a good amount of them to really
See, I don't know anything about this. How many are we talking?
That they're like, you got to drink like normally they're like if you can like with those type of ones, and this is not from experience.
He's heard.
I've heard, right?
From a Catholic youth pastor.
From a Catholic. But you would have to. I think you would have to drink a good amount of them to.
Okay,
really
see, it's out of my league to know.
Yeah.
So
I just think that is the Lord's judgment for Rent-A-Teen.
Yeah, Rent-A-Teen. Yeah, let's.
Yeah,
get on that point. Rent-A-Teen is crazy.
The hard seltzers distract us from the lead. The lead is Rent-A-Teen.
It is a
the
crazy
Lord's judgment.
Concept. Crazy
the Lord
concept.
judges you and never do it again.
Dude, we've had stories for Rent-A-Teen where like weirdos are in the audience like bidding.
Oh yeah.
And it's like the church weirdo is like all of a sudden like throwing in $600 to try and outbid this family to like get the teenage girl for like multiple hours.
Yeah. No.
Well, and you know what? A lot of what makes an idea, the difference between a good idea and a bad idea is some of the initial packaging. So rent-a-teen, nope. Serve-a-thon, sweetie.
That's good.
Serve-a-thon,
That's good.
okay?
Serve-a-thon.
And you don't present individual teens. You say, look, we have a youth group of 40 kids who want to work hard so they can get themselves and their friends who are far from God to summer camp. So do you have a local business? Do you have an extra property? Do you have work that needs to be done around the house?
Listen. He knows. He's in.
Yeah. He hasn't even listened to YGC, and he's a YGCU grad. I'll give him the doctorate right now.
Thank you.
Honestly, he deserves
He's got to be like part of the curriculum planning.
He's like, he writes the, what do they call it?
I told him I would work
sign
my
off
way
on
to be
the
a
book?
professor. YGCU is like very exciting to me.
What is it when they put like they sign off at the front of the book, like they get someone famous to like write off?
Oh, it was like a forward or something
forward.
like that?
He's like the forward of
Let's go.
But for you, John,
Yeah.
what's the craziest youth group trip you ever took?
Craziest.
Does
youth
one
group
come to mind?
A trip. I mean, a lot. I'm trying to think of which things.
Like,
won't
did you
get
guys do
someone else in
mission trips
trouble.
and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, we did when I was in youth group. So again, the other thing about being in Central Florida was like a lot of our leaders worked at like Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the SeaWorld documentary came out. I mean, this might be too old for some people, but like it's called Blackfish. If you just want to like never feel good about zoos again, just watch. Watch that.
I'm not watching.
And it was about like SeaWorld. My small group leader, one of my small group leaders, was a killer whale trainer at SeaWorld.
Really?
And I'm like, yo, is this true? And he's like, yeah, 95% of it. And he stopped working there. And so on this one mission trip, we went to the Dominican Republic and we were working with Haitian refugees.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that a lot of people from Haiti try to get over to the DR because I guess it's slightly better in the Dominican Republic, but the Dominican government like hates them. And so they live in like just absolute, poverty. So we were going over there. And what I also didn't know at that time is that I didn't know anything about like, certain Haitian religious angles are very much so centered on witchcraft. Mm-hmm. And so we mostly spent our time just in the outskirts of the village, where they said it was safe. And they were like, do not go to the center of the village. It felt like Jurassic Park, it's like, don't go to the center of the island. And then one day they were like, hey, we're going to go to the center of the island. And we just go up, we're going to the center of the island and we're doing it. And you just feel the vibes, right? And then this older woman comes out and she's looking at us, but you're like, you can just know. And this is what, and she was old and she just starts slowly undressing. And I'm like 17 and we're like shoveling like cement and I'm like, and basically like the guide is like, yeah, I think she's doing that so that we leave, so we feel uncomfortable. And then there's this guy that is a youth leader and I won't say his name again because, I don't want to, but his story was that he was coming out of a lifestyle of same sex attraction.
Uh-huh.
But he also at the time was Prince Charming at Disney, like at the parks. So this immaculate, is that flavorful person? What he does, and it was just he just goes and he stands in front of the woman, and he just starts singing worship songs. I'm gonna see a victory. I'm gonna see a victory. And I just like naked witch woman, old. She's like 80. And I grew up a lot that trip is what I'm trying to say. I saw a lot of culture.
He's seen real
Everything
life
at once,
spiritual
just
warfare in the flesh. This is what it looks like when the angels are fighting the demons.
That scenario. I feel like God and Satan were like, let's just. Let's just. But real talk, glory to God. She ended up. She backed down first.
Listen.
Hey,
she went back. That spirit went back inside that house, and Prince Charming called down the King of Kings.
Listen, he's somewhere telling that story.
He is. He's gonna hear all this podcast.
I was in real spiritual
But the other
warfare.
side funny thing about that is not everyone knew his like testimony.
Mm-hmm.
So he's this ripped, beautiful dude.
Yeah.
And so obviously we're in the Dominican Republic. And so we're going to go to a beach. It's a missions trip, right? We're Americans on a missions trip. We're mostly there for the beach. You know what I'm saying? And the funniest thing was all the female leaders and students were crushing on him so bad. And like the first time we went to the beach, like all of us like awkward guys are like trying to like flex, like, and then like he comes running out shirtless and every girl is like, and like in my head, I just remember thinking like, he's not even into you.
He
Wouldn't even care.
He wouldn't even glance at you.
But it's like he was so like unaware of his effect on women. I mean, he was like shredded, dude. So
one day,
most
I can only hope.
Don't let Sam's.
I'm not shredded. I mean, I go to the gym,
he's bruh. I was actually on my way to work. I was driving past your house. And you were outside with no shirt on. I said,
"You like Sam?
Lord forgive me.
You like Sam?
Lord forgive me.
Right? Isn't that roided dude?
No,
Sam
he's not
Sulek?
that big.
Oh, I know
like him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sam Sulek.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I aspire to have.
Someone
Sam's
says,
body.
"Rebuke it, Benny Hinn. Rebuke it, Benny Hinn." Oh, Benny Hinn, that grandma.
Benny Hinn,
One time when my mom brought me to see Benny Hinn, he rebuked a baby.
A baby.
A baby?
Yeah, dude. A baby was crying. And he goes, I rebuke that spirit in the name of Jesus.
Distraction.
We get the demon out. In the name.
We had a baby fall and smack his head off the floor in a service one day. Were you there? I've told the story a few times.
I might not have been
there.
there.
So we were in the middle of service, and our church is. You remember that, Trey? Yeah, you. There's a concrete floor and then carpet on top, and this kid fell off a chair. We just heard like a deep thud.
Yeah.
And then just scream. So
our 1-year-old son fell off of his sister's bunk bed, and I was downstairs, and I heard the thud on the floorboard.
Yeah,
before
like that's
the cry,
you
and I'm
feel
like,
it.
oh,
and I'm like 30, 40 feet away. I could feel it, the thud in my feet, and then of course the kid's crying, and Isaiah is the friend that you can never have in a serious area. I'm telling him the story right now, Zay, of the kid that fell off the chair, and you can never have him in a serious moment. And sure enough, I like glance over at him. And I send him the meme of like the guy with the head dented in.
Yeah.
And apparently I was the friend that couldn't be around in a serious moment.
I was like, you sent the meme, dude.
Normally it's him.
Instigator.
No, it is normally Zay.
It's normally
Zay just did that like this past Sunday to me where he literally sent me like 5 different memes.
Nah, because our pastor said something about like mouth and it was wild. It was wild.
What did he say?
I can't.
Okay.
Something like he had a mouth on
Zay
him.
back in
like
here,
that.
a callback to the episode with me and Taylor was that Zay was talking about Muslims in the chat.
Okay, hold on.
And didn't you think he was a Muslim or Taylor
No,
did?
Taylor did.
Taylor thought he was a
That's
Muslim.
because Taylor's from Kentucky. I'm from Central Florida. Those who know, let the hearer understand, okay? Let the hearer understand, okay?
Yeah, let's make it like that. All right. He asked me if I was Muslim while we were walking. He was like, "Brother, but actually, are you actually like?"
I mean, with the beard
He
and the
doubled
no
down
mustache.
to ask if you're a Muslim. I mean, without the stash, I could see.
No, the beard is way more Hebrew Israelite. That's the vibe.
That's
You know?
Big Hebrew.
Yeah.
The stash is starting to come back. But
The one time, well, not the one time, but one of the times that a student has gotten arrested at church was, and I can tell this story. I actually just did this guy's wedding last month, so it all full circle. When he was in, let's see, this was almost 10 years ago. His name's Sajjad, and he was from Iraq. They came to the country. He had been kicked out of his house for misbehaving. One of my leaders found him sleeping outside of the Starbucks that she worked at. And shout out Becca Duarte. Great. She was a great youth group leader. And she she took care of him, brought him to church. He gives his life to Jesus that night. And so, me, I'm like, dang, we're doing this. This testimony's gonna go crazy, And then he and then I get like a text from him, and he's like, "Hey, my parents are really upset at me. Like they say I cannot come back to church." And I was like, and he's like, "But I'm gonna sneak to church." And I was like, "Whoa, this is a weird pastoral conundrum." And I'm like,
"Oh yeah, dude.
Hey man, I actually think you shouldn't come to church." Because I think the foundation of your witness as
this is a one-time exception.
I'm like, actually don't come to church because, and he is like, they kind of low key threatened him a bit physically, but I'm like, hey, but also like, if the first experience of Christianity your parents have
is persecution,
is like you lying to them.
Oh yeah,
that's not good. Yeah. Well, he didn't listen to me, and unbeknownst to me, he had been sneaking in. And then so one night I find out he's there. I see him in the crowd, pull him aside, and we're talking. I'm like, "Bro, what are you doing?" Yeah. And then he gets a call from his mom, and I go, "You better answer that." And he answers it, and his face gets like real and like just scared, and he's like, he hangs up and he's like, "My mom just called. My mom said the police are on the way."
Oh.
she told them that you guys kidnapped me. And I go, this is why I freaking told you, don't come to church. Do not come to church. And I'll never and then I like take him to the church office and I'm like, that's probably where the
That's even worse.
Yeah. And I'm just
Where's
like,
the kid? He's locked in the office.
I'm like, I don't want the whole youth group to see him getting arrested, right? So then I'm like, I call one of the older pastors and I'm like, I need help in the church office right now. And he comes over and he's like crying. He's like, I don't think I'm ever going to come here again. I don't know what they're going to do to me. Am I going to go to jail? And I just remember thinking to myself, I'm like, bro, I have to tell him everything he needs to know about being a Christian right now. Cause I don't know that he'll ever again. And sure enough, like the police came in, they took him away. Like it was the weirdest thing. And I mean, at the end of the day, I just got to literally just a month ago, got to marry him to another girl from our youth group. In front of his parents, and I talked about Jesus.
That's crazy.
And I think his mom has come to faith. So
wow.
But yeah,
cool.
it was. I got scared for
I would be.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I would not be playing around.
No
way. No way. All right, guys, you ready for this?
Yep.
We're about to do our guess the denomination.
Let's go.
You ready? Chat. We need your help. We're
gonna get sponsors for each segment too.
Yeah, that's right.
Like
yes.
I got you.
Welcome to
Taylor and I. When Taylor and I landed in New York, we saw an image of Gandalf the White descending upon the Uruk-hai hordes at Helm's Deep. And the Lord told us that Youth Group Chronicles is Helm's Deep, and it's been fighting an important battle, but you're outnumbered. And you have seen many victories, but you feel under-resourced. And God has sent Taylor and I as Gandalfs into the fray to lift you guys into a new
You guys
season.
are witnesses.
Double Gandalf.
You get to be the witness.
And chat
of this
gets
right
to
now.
be here to see it.
Were you allowed to watch that?
Taylor
That was the one thing. So
Okay.
it's
Taylor's
crazy.
Gandalf the White, and I'm the horse, Shadowfax.
Star Wars, and Lord of the Rings. I don't know why I was allowed
But
to watch
not
it.
Harry Potter.
No. Trey, can you just check the focus on that?
Even though Star Wars is just space
It
witchcraft.
should have the red.
and was more rooted in Buddhism, 100%.
And then the red, is it?
My mom was the same way when the Fellowship of the Ring trailer came out. My mom was like, "You will never see it."
That's like the one thing they let me watch.
Takes notes watching it in her quiet time. She'll like tell me, "I'm watching Two Towers for my quiet time today." Like taking
For my
notes.
quiet time.
Oh yeah, dude. My mom's that way with Braveheart, The Matrix. The only R-rated movies I could see were the ones that my mom was like, "That's prophetic."
Yeah.
So like The Matrix.
The Matrix.
She'd be like, you can watch this, you know? And I'm like,
did she do
How
that?
does you feel to know that both the directors are trans now?
It doesn't change the source material.
probably how she feels about most of the prophets we grew up hearing also being trans. So it hasn't stopped her role. I'm like, Mom, stop giving money to that person. Stop it. They're not even a Christian anymore. Stop.
She's just like on the reoccurring giving, doesn't even know it hits his card every month.
She's like, I believe in it. That's a man of God. Yeah. Gosh, bro, we gotta save. We gotta. That's something. That's another thing that. Have you guys ever seen like animal shelters? People raising money for that. Taylor and I are starting a foundation for church brain rot moms, and just older moms who are just caught up in just church brain rot. We're gonna set them free. We're gonna raise money for these moms to let them know there are other people to watch and listen to.
Yes,
and some of the people that have let them down.
I like it.
They can be free.
You could be free.
In the intern team is in the arms of an angel. It's just like moms, like okay. Segment sponsored by Mamitas.
Yes, you got to get a sponsor for this. Guess. Guess the denomination. This is a story from Thomas. Mid-sermon at youth camp, the preacher was shouting about hell when suddenly the back doors of the sanctuary burst open and a man engulfed in flames came sprinting down the aisle, screaming.
Talk about Lord of the Rings, dude.
It is. What none of us students knew was that it was an object lesson.
Yeah.
He was wearing a fire retardant suit and had literally been set on fire to demonstrate the reality of hell. But it turns out the guy didn't have the collar of the suit on properly and ended up getting second-degree burns on his neck. The screaming wasn't really an act after all.
I mean, that feels Baptist to me.
You think so?
Southern Baptist, probably specifically.
All right, here's a list. Yep.
I'd say
Southern Baptist. So I'm thinking like
I could see Pentecostal.
I was thinking Pentecostal because of the hell.
This is not a denomination, but I'm definitely also getting Calvinist vibes.
You think so?
Yeah. The screaming about hell, And then I definitely like a John MacArthur, like Turner Burn.
I'm thinking like a very, very conservative.
Yeah.
Like a either way, Baptist, Pentecostal, very, very conservative background or like sect of.
Yeah.
If I had to guess,
I say Southern Baptist.
You want to throw that chat up there, Sierra? You
That's
think
a good
Southern
one.
Baptist?
I'm
going to go Pentecostal.
Those would be my two.
Again, Thomas, you got to let us know
if
when
there was
you
a
hear
woman
this.
on fire, it'd be Southern Baptist for sure. But I can't tell for sure if being a man.
I think it cut out, so we're not going to see many. I think the stream went down for a second, but anyway, I'm going Pentecostal. You said Southern Baptist, John?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you say,
I'm probably those would be my two.
All right, Thomas, you heard it here. You better let us know when you hear this on the pod. You got to follow up. We started actually getting. I have a list. We'll go on some other episodes, but of some of the story, they're letting us know. They're like, you were right, or no way, it was actually.
Yeah.
It was this. So
I think it would be cool if you had people start doing like, what is it on? Is it on Reddit where people will tell their stories and they're like, male 21 size 7 shoe with their like Baptist church like
the stats
pre destination whatever like the stats of all the
before any
have
story
right there,
before
like, every story. That would be great.
This is a story from Maddie. Maddie said at youth camp a high school student with special needs went missing and the entire beach shut down because everyone thought that he had drowned.
Ooh.
His sister was panicking. Keep it together, Isaiah. Kids were crying. It was full-on chaos. Right as we were about to call his mom with the bad news, one of our admins finally asked, did anyone check the basketball courts? Sure enough, he had hopped the fence because he just wanted to ball.
Say, listen, ball is life. I resonate. Ball is life.
This close to calling poor mom.
So, like the last thing, we're gonna have to call his mom and let him know, like, hey, your son is gone. We cannot find him.
Yeah, this feels like a segue into when one of my special needs students bought a gun to Elevation Church.
Oh,
I had a student from my first youth ministry, who had special needs, and I love this kid, but I was his person, even though like I could never find a youth leader that would either he liked or would like. So literally I had him from 7th grade till he graduated, and every discussion group I'd have to have him down by the lake, because if I wasn't there, he would be in the lake and he wanted to fish. So like we'd be having a discussion group and he'd just be fishing in the lake, and then every now and then chime in on some just interesting point of view. Years go by. I'm in a different church now. He finds out, oh, you're Elevation Church. Oh, I live like an hour away. Like, can I come see you? I'm like, absolutely, bro. And I was on staff at the broadcast location, which like security there is like on point and like needed. There's people that are like weird all the time there. And anyway, like it's busy and I'm doing my thing. And then he meets me midway through the lobby and he's like, oh, what's up? And and I'm like, hey buddy, it's real great to see you. How'd you get in? He's like, oh, I drove myself. And I'm like, okay, like, yeah. And then like, I'm like, do you want to go sit in service with me? He's like, no. And I'm like, what the frick? You come to church, whatever, I should be used to this. He never would sit in church before. So I'm like, let's go upstairs and like, kind of, we go in the back and we can talk. And as I go, I like notice like our security team, like,
oh no,
hovering.
And I'm like, what the heck? Like,
this kid has no idea what's going on.
Yeah. And I'm like, and he's like, we're sitting down there, and I'm like, they're like over here. And I'm like, they wouldn't normally do that, with me, unless I had like asked. And then they were like, this kid's like, yeah, talking about this, and he's really into weapons. Like that's also been just part of the problem his whole life. Just always been into weapons. Even at church camp, he'd always have a knife, and we'd have to confiscate the knife, and like And so he tells me, he's like, yeah, so I asked him at the front if I could open carry. And I'm like, and so basically like, I'm like, do you want to sit inside? And I'm like, hey, bud, like if you want to just hang out with me, you should come down a different day. Like I have to, and I'm also like seeing security. I'm like, they're not leaving. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to walk out with you to the car. As we walk, security comes out, gets to the car. reaches in his glove compartment. Look at my pistol. And I'm like, put that away. And then I kind of had to like drop my serious tone. And now, mind you, he's like in his like mid-20s by this point, and like is big and like is waving a firearm at Elevation Church. And like the security guys are like, and now one of the officers is like, and so then like I finally I'm like, bro, you have to go. Like, I'll call you later. We'll talk later. You have to go. Man. And then afterwards he leaves, and our head of security is like, who was that guy? Well, the detail that I didn't think about that he left out is that when he asked, can I open carry? He was at the time open carrying, meaning that he had a brandished weapon at the front of Elevation Church.
And he went back to put it in his car.
And yeah, so when he said, hey, so instead of like, he made it kind of seem like he was like polite, be like, hey, just by the way, no, he was like, is this cool with you guys? You know, so security was like, we were, you know, so I just, not to make this political, but I'm like, I do think that there might be some gun law reform regarding some individuals,
you know,
and, you know, so.
Oh, that is funny.
Yeah, that was a scary.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna get fired.
What was any repercussions on your end? Or you're like, dude, I had no idea. Like, did you, in a situation like that, do you get reprimanded?
No, I mean, I had good I had a lot of trust there, and like our head of security, you know,
that's fair.
He heard me, and they saw me walk. I think if I had like not walked him out to his car, I think if I had shown like a casual, if I had been casual about it, they would have been like, "What is wrong with you?" You know, like I was not the guy with thrifted swim pants on a cajon. I was the guy who wore brand new Target swimsuit with boxers underneath at the swimming area with the youth. I come prepared. You know? So I didn't get reprimanded. But that was a crazy
contingency
story.
So we didn't do this on the episode that you were on with Taylor.
Yep.
But this is called our Finish the Chronicle segment.
Great.
I don't know if you're listening to their episode, but this is where I'll read a couple sentences, and you and Buddy give your best guess as to how you think the story's going to end, all right? Okay. So this is from Lizzie. Lizzie said, after the sermon at youth group, my friend went to the front wanting to be saved. But the music was so loud that the girl trying to help her couldn't hear what my friend was saying. So if you had to figure out how that story is going to end, where do you think this is a tough one. I got to say, this is a tough one.
So it's the end of youth group.
Yep.
It's a male student?
It is... it's a female. Know. It's female to female.
Okay, female to
female. They go up to get saved, and the person that is trying to like walk them through the steps can't hear what this girl is saying.
Yeah,
because the music is too loud.
So then they turn to the. Oh no, they're face to face. Okay.
Yeah. So right now we leave them at the altar, yelling to each other.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Buddy, if you had to finish the Chronicle, where do you think it's going?
Dang, I would say, I mean, obviously there's a very large realm of possibilities that could happen, that could go on. But I'm going to say that the girl is deaf.
Deaf? Oh.
So she thinks she's probably trying, they're probably trying to tell her that, hey, I'm deaf. Like, I don't really hear what you're saying. Really and then so she thinks like, oh, I can't hear them because the music. But really,
she's like yelling at a deaf girl?
Yeah, she's yelling at a deaf girl.
Yeah.
That's mine.
John?
You know, I'm just going to go like, it was something very like intimate that you should only share with like a same gendered leader. And the female leader was like, hey, go talk to John in the back, like a male. And she unwittingly sent this like innocent girl who was trying to talk about some very intimate story to go talk to some like dude leader about something really
weird.
That's good.
All right, that's a good guess. A good guess. All right, you guys ready for this? I don't think the chat is connected. It's fine though. Normally they have some good guesses. All right. After the sermon at youth group, my friend went to the front wanting to be saved, but the music was so loud that the girl trying to help her couldn't hear what my friend was saying. So the leader called over a sign language interpreter because she thought she was deaf.
I was close.
Except she wasn't.
Okay, I was on the wavelength.
You were on the wavelength. Yeah, that was actually a great guess.
He was tapped in.
I don't know what's more embarrassing: yelling at a deaf girl because she can't hear, or thinking someone's deaf, and you call over the the ASL.
I mean, listen. At least they had that's real. At least they had a person that like
Ready
listen,
to
if we
go.
got a
I've
deaf
never
person
once
come
had
up-
someone ready to
I've
do that
never-
at any
never.
churches I've worked
Nope.
out. So shout out to that church.
Yeah,
for that.
shout out to that
Coming
church.
prepared
That is
for
facts. That
Shout
is
out to that
facts.
church.
All right, guys, one more story here, and then we'll do our Would You Rather segment. This is from Bryce.
And shout out to all the deaf listeners.
Yeah, shout out to
Shout
I'm
out.
about to do an agreement.
This is from Bryce at youth. They watch on YouTube. At youth camp.
They read captions. We love you guys. We love you guys. ASL.
At youth camp, one of our middle schoolers decided to pole dance on the camp flagpole, which unfortunately for him was just a branchless tree with 2 rusty nails to tie off the rope with.
Yeah.
But mid-routine, his scrotum caught on one of the nails and ripped it clean open.
Every time.
Buddy was
Look,
right.
the pie chart just got
Just
a little
got a
bit
little
bigger.
Yep.
Every time.
And so now, with my self-imposed unk status, I am
Yep.
going to start demanding
Come
that
on.
male youth leaders, they wear nut cups.
Come on. Come
This
on.
was,
Like,
this was a middle schooler.
Well,
This
all,
was the kid.
all men involved in youth ministry
Yeah,
must
you
wear,
must wear a cup.
must wear a cup because this
Every
is just
time.
too. And don't. So who is the kid was pole dancing?
The middle schooler.
Judgment of God a little bit.
That is that. Listen, you want to do something that don't evolve.
People like to talk like, oh no, like God's different than the Old Testament. Acts chapter 5, 2 people dropped.
That's
bro.
true.
Ananias and Sapphira,
Yep.
bang,
Yep.
like dawn. Okay,
Yep.
Wasn't playing any games.
God was
all.
not playing any
No.
games.
This may be one of those.
That may be. That
Dude,
might
that
have
just makes me-
been.
that is hurtful.
That's tough.
That is.
On a rusty
That makes
nail
your
too.
stomach hurt.
Makes my
kind of
that
thing.
makes my
Yep.
stomach.
I can even imagine that type of. I don't even know what that would even feel like.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
Nope, I don't
Yeah,
even
that's
know.
tough.
Not even one. Well, actually, I've had a vasectomy, so I can.
If anyone
kind of-
knows what it's kind of
Okay.
like,
I would kind of be able to describe that. Just a little.
Soreness.
One time, a leader, when I was an intern, so I wasn't in charge yet, but a leader with his group of guys went to the girls, like the women's session, like, and the leader opened the door. I mean, there's probably like 200 girls in there being led by our female youth pastor and yelled, "Make me a sandwich." That dude was no longer a youth leader.
Yeah, he's done.
he was
done.
done. And I do not condone that. I have 2 daughters.
He probably
okay?
thought that was.
I
He
do
probably
not
thought that was the
condone
most official. Like, yo, about to go in here. Oh, the girl's
They're
gonna
gonna
love me
love
for this
this.
one.
Yeah, he was like
No.
on Andrew Tate energy before
Oh.
Andrew Tate.
so what? Who did he say it to? Just a random.
the room full of all the girl students, girl leaders, and our female youth pastor, a session.
That's bold.
Yeah, you're done, bud.
bold.
Which also, I imagine, as is so often the case, that youth leader is probably like 2 years older than the students he was
Right.
leading. Hey, I'm a youth leader. I'm 20 and a half. You know, like,
Yeah, it's like they just graduated.
yeah. Fundamental problems.
All right, guys, let's do our Would You Rather segment. 2 stories from this episode. Pit them against each other.
Okay.
You guys got to choose. Option 1 is from Kyle.
Kyle.
You were doing a Rent-A-Teen fundraiser,
No.
and you just found out that all your kids just had hard seltzers. And also, you put together the Rent-A-Teen, so I guess that's another knock against
Yep.
you. Option 2 is you are praying over a child during altar call, and you call over the ASL interpreter because you think they're deaf.
Yeah, give me that one.
Yep.
That's easy. Give me that one.
Because it's actually a flex.
yeah.
This story actually makes the youth group look really good.
Yeah.
That's true. You know, I
Yep.
didn't think of it that way.
And you look concerning. Like you look like you're concerned and you care. And
That also tells me that leader also knew that there was
Yep.
a system for students who are
Yep.
hard of hearing.
So he was tapped
which
in
tells
already.
me that this youth group cares about marginalized communities,
Yep.
has a plan for
Come
those
See, this
with
is I didn't think of all this
Yep.
stuff.
and
Yeah.
that a leader actually knows any
what to
part of
do.
the plan.
Yep.
That youth pastor.
That's
Now, I mean,
Go.
now that you say that,
that's a round of applause right there.
Yeah.
when you put it like that, I gotta go with that. That's
Yep,
an
that's
easy.
easy.
One. That's an easy.
Because the first option, it's a double whammy. Not only are you doing Rent-A-Teen,
yeah.
then the teens that were rented give them alcohol. So it's like,
And also, like, as a leader, letting any stranger give any kind of edible substance
Yeah,
to your
that's true.
teenagers under your care,
yeah.
like that's a known.
Yeah.
like,
Why'd you see you doctor right here?
Why
This
do you
guy
see
is
a doctor right here?
You got
graduated with
to put you on game.
flying. What is it? Flying colors.
Flying
Yeah,
colors.
flying colors.
Was
The
it
problem
4.0
is
GPA?
that everyone that does youth ministry longer than 2 years either deconstructs, becomes a marginally good YouTuber, or becomes a campus pastor. And so it's not their fault. You have an industry problem. Okay,
Yeah.
we keep exporting the good ones. Okay,
Yeah.
like we just keep doing it.
Hey,
Well, John,
in the game.
John, thank you for being here. That's a clean
Absolutely.
sweep on Would You Rather. Chat,
sweep.
thank you for being here.
Love you, chat.
Is Taylor dying over there?
Is it a grape?
Help him, God.
You good, dog?
Everyone reach out, stretch hands.
Well, buddy, thank you for being here too.
Yeah,
John,
buddy.
this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for making the
much
trip to upstate New York.
Thanks.
It was quite a doozy for these guys, let me tell you. It was, what, a 18-hour travel day
worth
that was
it,
supposed to be a
Not that
8-hour
We're
travel
just
day.
getting the gospel out.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. That's
Listen,
why
they
they're
care about
here.
the ministry.
That's
Care
right.
about the
Amen.
ministry,
Amen.
care about you guys. I care about Demon Cat 28. You know, that's what I'm here for.
I thought it was demon monkey.
Well, anyway,
Yeah, no.
thank you guys so
That
much. And to our listeners, we will see you all next week.
Peace.